Hey, what is going on everybody? My name is M1K3 and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about whether to use edit on release or not, and why the answer is very straightforward and simple. I would recommend watching to the end of the video to fully understand the differences in having it on and having it off. Before we get into that though, 55.6% of you guys watching are not subscribed. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and liking the videos. It really helps out so much more than you think. Thank you and enjoy the video. Starting this video off, it's only natural we begin by taking a look at the pros and cons of having edit on release on and off, because each of them has benefits the other one doesn't. So let's get started. With edit on release, you can be a faster editor than with it off. This is because you have to click less buttons to confirm an edit, and this can for some be a total game changer. If you struggle a lot with mechanics, this might be the way to go for you. In my very own opinion though, with a lot of hard work and effort, you can become insanely fast with edit on release turned off as well. And later in this video, I'm going to be talking about why that might be a good idea. Before we move on with the video, I want to show you a few clips of how hard work and dedication can make you very fast on confirm edit on release off as well. This was me nearly 2 years ago, and as some of you guys might know, I played these edit courses all the time and became very good at doing them. So if you don't have a lot of time and want to become good fast, then edit on release is for you. But if you're looking to become good in the long term, then speed definitely isn't a problem on either of the modes. Moving on to one of the biggest cons edit on release has, we have to talk about control. And looking at edit on release turned on compared to it turned off, it has way less control because of a couple of reasons I'm gonna show you live right now. Alrighty guys, so I am now in live, and I apologize if I'm really bad at this, but I never really do it, so I'm gonna try to make it as easy to understand as possible, but at the same time make it relatively short. So I'm going to demonstrate why having edit on release turned on has slightly less control than having it turned off. So let's say you're in a box like this and there's an opponent on the other side, like W keying you, right? And when you're in a box, you obviously want to make a right hand peek so that your opponent can't hit you. And the most natural right hand peek that most people do is this one. Everybody does this one at the Dorito edit. And with edit on release turned on, if you want to do this edit properly, you got to go here and go all the way into the corner, look up in the sky, and then confirm your edit and jump and shoot. You can also do it like this, but that can be very sloppy on confirm edit on release. So if I go into settings right now and turn edit on release off, I'm going to show you how you can do it with it turned off. So what you can do with it turned off is you can edit, and then obviously you don't have to do anything. You can have your crosshair on your opponent all the time and then confirm and then shoot, giving you better crosshair placement and therefore better aim when having it off. So I hope you guys understood that little example, and if you didn't, please leave a comment down below because I'm going to respond to pretty much everybody. So that's about it for the live example. Let's get back to the video. Next up, we're going to be talking about ping and using edit on release or not, and this is super relevant for a lot of people because everybody watching has a different ping. Some people play on 0 and others have 300, and I really want to talk about what setting is best to use for people on different latencies. So, first of all, we need to clarify one thing. Edit on release is not bugged. There are no technical failures with the setting. When it first came out, it had a few bugs that got fixed over a period of time by Fortnite, and people seem to still think that the setting is bugged. In my eyes, edit on release is a setting for low ping players. And you might ask, but Marin, it's way easier to edit on high ping with edit on release turned on. And yes, I completely agree with the fact that editing with edit on release feels better on high ping. However, what's important to realize is that you're not going to be a speed demon on 110 ping when playing. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to master something that's impossible for them because of the environment they live in. With anything more than 50 ping, you shouldn't put all your focus on your mechanics, but rather your aim and game IQ. I also want to quickly touch on endgames. I've been playing with both of the alternatives in this video, and I have found edit on release to be perfect for me as a high ping tarper, and that is simply because the edits feel faster. And being able to tarp at a high pace is a must if you want to become a good teammate. With edit on release turned off, I am not a lot slower, but a little bit. So simply summarized, if you're a player with above 50 ping, I honestly would not recommend edit on release, because edit on release is for flashy, incredibly fast mechanical players. not somebody that looks like a grandma because of his or her ping. In endgames, if your only job is to be a tarper, then edit on release is amazing. However, if you're a fragger, having it turned off is a million times better because of the angles you can create for yourself and your teammates with the control you have with the setting turned off. Moving on with the video, I know my controller homies are watching this thinking, Marin, please don't forget us again. And you already know, I got you guys. So, truthfully, I wasn't too educated on whether using edit on release or not was better on controller. So I asked my wonderful Twitter community what's better, and I got a lot of responses saying it was either best using it or not using it, without any real explanation as to why. But reading through these comments, I realized one thing, and that's that mechanics on controller are way harder than a mouse and keyboard. No questions asked about it. Therefore, meaning that it would be very difficult to get good mechanics with confirm edit on release off. However, if you dedicate a lot of time every day and you are a super dedicated player that's looking to perform in the long term, then the same rules apply as on mouse and keyboard. Edit on release off is better. But that doesn't mean that you can't become insane with confirm edit on release on. All I'm saying is that because of the control you get with edit on release off, and because of your 360 movement, creating and abusing some insane angles is a possibility that wouldn't be possible with the setting on. So to conclude whether to use edit on release on controller or not, it's very, very simple. If you want to become a top tier, and I am talking the best of the best, edit on release off is the way to go. Just look at Reed and Lecce. They don't use it. But if you want to catch a quick bag and dip, using it is definitely the easiest way to do so. Lastly, in this video, I want to go over a few pro players who use edit on release and some that don't. So starting off with mouse and keyboard, most notably both Bugha and Stretch use edit on release. The reason behind them using this setting is pretty obvious. It fits their playstyle just perfectly. Being two mechanical masterminds, this setting literally feels like it was made for them. And if they didn't have the mechanical abilities they do, they probably wouldn't have been half the players they are today with the setting turned on. On the other side, we have Noah Rayleigh, who I talked about in my 2020 Best Fighters video, who is unarguably the best fighter on the planet. He does not use edit on release. Having the option turned off gives him the ability to create some of the nastiest angles you could think of. He is also one of the best mechanical players in the world. This just goes to show what I've been talking about this entire video, where if you are a dedicated player with a clear goal in mind, having it off is no problem. And as mentioned just a second ago, both Reed and Lecce don't use edit on release on controller. In addition to that, we have CRR, Wolfies, and Wavy Jacob, who don't use it either. On the other side, we have Cura and Furious, who use edit on release. So to quickly conclude the video, if you are in mouse and keyboard, edit on release off is 1,000,000% the better option if you're looking to do well in competitive. However, if you want to be a creative warrior, the answer is obvious. Edit on release on all day long. On controller, it all comes down to how much effort you're looking to put into the game. I looked into all the best controller players and literally none of them used the setting other than Furious and Cura. And I think that answers the question asked in the title. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. My name has been Marin, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.